I was really, really blessed because I started incorporating technology with my choir classes and AP music classes before the pandemic. I started a little bit of dabbling in 2014, 15, 16, and then really went to town on it in 2017 and 18. And then what comes around is that horrible pandemic in 2020. So in Utah, all schools were closed following March 12th of 2020, which meant that I didn't get to see my students again until they graduated and after they had graduated as seniors or the next year when school began anew. It was hard. It was hard for the students to be away from their friends and to be so afraid and to lose the connections that make life meaningful. And I wanted to find ways to keep connection. The idea of doing choir rehearsals at home was not going to give the connections I was hoping for. And so I just wanted them, for me, the social experiences that could be gained through music were far more important than what we could do by trying to have some sort of odd rehearsals at home. And so I came up with a choir project that actually I didn't come up with by myself. I stole it from somebody else who stole it from somebody else who stole it from somebody else. And so I just found a similar project on the internet and chose the things that would be apropos for my students. And so I'm forever grateful to the student, or excuse me, the teacher that came up with this in the first place. I don't believe that it's a bad thing to steal ideas in teaching. I say that's how we all get better. So I did a choir project and I submitted this. And back then I didn't realize the importance of doing a video that shows you how to do things. So it's rather long and lengthy to read, but I wanted them to understand all the different choices that they had and that music can do so that they could create music, analyze, perform, explore, process, practice, learn from others, or learn by yourself. And so these 4 questions were the questions that I found online from the previous teacher, and I wish I knew who it was so I could give her credit, but I honestly can't remember. And so the questions are: what did you do? Why did you pick this experience? How do you know if you learned anything from doing it? And what could you do next to extend the experience? And so I made some choices to include. There's be a conductor, be a composer, be a composer who uses technology, be a composer that does things traditionally, be a performer and record yourself performing, be a creator, be a teacher, find a video online that would be valuable for your peers to watch and help them. I asked them to maybe conduct an interview with a family member or somebody, whether it was on Zoom and virtual or whether it was somebody in their home that they could talk to. A lot of the kids chose create a playlist. That was probably the easiest for the things that they love to do and something that they understood how to do. But surprisingly, the playlists were a little magical in how they let me have insights into the students and songs that I didn't know. I mean, I wasn't at school all day. I was trapped by the pandemic too. And so I would listen to these songs. I learned new literature that I didn't know before, and I got to see insights into my students. I offered a comparative analysis, exploring different music careers. I even had listened to Song Exploder or make a presentation, practice your music theory skills, make their own choral program. I had a couple of students say, this is what I would do if I were doing a concert for a certain kind of event. Research, one of the pieces that we had been working on that we weren't going to get to do, or watch a tiny desk concert. And so I had all of these different options. And I was dumbfounded by what the students saw in being able to do this. I had one student talk to a parent about the music that they loved as a teenager. And so then they got to bond with one another about the music that dad used to listen to. And now the son knew about and had started listening to himself. And the father sent me an email saying, thank you for giving me this experience with my son for us to have a connection that we didn't have before. Um, Other things that happened were students that decided to perform when they never had before. I had students compose pieces and send me things that they had created. I didn't have anyone choose to be a teacher. I don't know how I feel about that. But exploring careers in music, I had a student discover music therapy as a career, and there's a college in Utah, or university in Utah, in which that is a major. And so that student went to that university and decided to explore a new major for them. And I thought that that was a beautiful opportunity. I had kids that didn't have good music skills, and so they improved upon them. And the next year following the pandemic, when they were back in school, they took AP Music Theory. And that kind of made me really happy. And so this kind of concert that allowed them to, excuse me, not concert, but project that allowed them to choose their area of interest. And they had to answer those 4 questions. They didn't get to just pick an experience. They had to be thoughtful about it. And again, I got so many emails thanking me for giving them an online assignment that meant something to them, that it wasn't just busy work, which is what so many of the kids in that last part of 2020 school year felt like they were getting online. And so between the parent emails and the student emails thanking me for this project, I felt like it was one of the most important ones to share with you.